People from other countries sometimes do travel to the United States to receive care, yet people from these countries also travel to other countries to receive care. What's more, people in the United States also travel to other countries to receive care. This is a general activity that's known as medical tourism, and the things that motivate people to do this are wide-ranging. Let's take a look at the numbers and the driving factors behind this medical tourism. In the case of patients traveling to the United States, one key motivation, as conservatives will be sure to let you know, is to receive care in a more timely manner. As we read on the creatively titled website usnews.com, quote, "The Fraser Institute said difficulties in obtaining timely medical care at home is increasingly leading Canadians to seek it abroad," end quote. Another motive is described on Wikipedia, and here we're talking about patients coming not just from Canada, but from all around the world. Quote, "The availability of advanced medical technology and sophisticated training of physicians are cited as driving motivators for growth in foreigners traveling to the US for medical care," end quote. I can tell you what doesn't motivate medical tourism to the United States: the desire to save money. But hey, if you're looking to burn a fucking hole in your wallet, come on over. Or maybe I'm wrong about this. Maybe some subset of US medical tourists do come here out of some combination of masochism and thrill-seeking. Perhaps they just want to feel the adrenaline rush of virtually bankrupting themselves after spending only a few days in a hospital. What an experience. So what kind of numbers are we talking about here? Based on how conservatives frame the subject, you would expect people to be practically trampling one another to come here for care. As the U.S. International Trade Commission writes in a 2015 report, quote, "About 0.5% of all air travelers entering the United States annually, between 100,000 and 200,000 people, list health treatment as a reason for visiting. This data excludes travelers from Canada and Mexico, the majority of whom travel to the United States overland," end quote. How many Canadians specifically travel to the U.S. for care? I can't find precise statistics, although I can tell you that the number is very likely to be less than 60,000. As the Fraser Institute writes in a 2017 report, quote, "In 2016, an estimated 63,459 Canadians received non-emergency medical treatment outside Canada," end quote. And this is the number of Canadians that traveled to any country for medical care, not just the United States. Let's generously say that 50,000 Canadians come to the US every year for medical care. How many Mexican medical tourists are there each year? I can't find clear statistics on that question, but for the sake of analysis, let's come up with what I think is a reasonable estimate. Statista.com shows that in 2017, there were 19 million visitors from Mexico to the US. According to that USITC report, 0.5% of air travelers came to the US for health treatment. 0.5% of 19 million is 95,000. Adding all of these numbers together, we find that 200,000 worldwide plus 50,000 from Canada and 95,000 from Mexico yields a grand total of 345,000 people that travel to the US each year for medical treatment. My goodness, that is a lot of people right there. That's right around the number of people who voted legally in 2016, times 345,000. If I was a mindless partisan who only cared about making his own position look good, I could stop right here and say, see, look at all these people that come to the United States for care. That proves it. The US healthcare system is phenomenal. But if you want to honestly evaluate this position, you have to look at all of the numbers. And when you do, you find that the conservative position crumbles before your eyes. Here is the key fact that a right-winger will never tell you, even if you tie him to a chair and torture him by forcing him to listen to Bernie Sanders speeches. When it comes to medical tourism, way more people leave the United States and go to other countries than come from other countries to the United States. As Fred Hansen writes in the Institute of Public Affairs Review, quote, "The number of Americans traveling abroad for healthcare is up from 500,000 in 2006 to 750,000 in 2007, end quote. In recent years, these numbers have doubled. As Patients Beyond Borders writes, quote, "We estimate some 1.4 million Americans will travel outside the US for medical care this year," end quote. 1.4 million versus 345,000. That is a ratio of over 4 to 1. That is to say, 4 times more people leave the United States for care than come to the United States for care. Listen to right-wingers discuss the issue, and they frame it as if medical tourism is a one-directional phenomenon, where people all across the world are clamoring to receive care in the United States. In reality, it's actually a bi-directional process that runs much more in the opposite direction. If the right-wing logic is that having people come to the US for care makes our healthcare system great, doesn't it logically follow that having people leave our country for care makes our system shitty? Since way more people leave our country for care than come to our country for care, isn't our system therefore much more shitty than it is great? Just applying their own logic here completely undermines their position. I'm on Patreon. There's a link in the description if you'd like to support my content. I would really appreciate it. There's also social media links in there if you want to follow me there. I'm trying to build up some of those followings. I would really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe for more videos if you haven't already. Hit the bell, hit the like button, post a fucking comment. All that fun stuff that's standard on YouTube. You know the fucking drill. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this.